It says live. And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Chris from TFL here, along with some of my most favoritist people in the entire fucking world, to bring you the Heresy year-end special. So we've been talking about this for a few weeks, and it is finally here. So for the next couple hours, you're going to have the joy of listening to our banter and BS, and there's no script, so whatever comes to mind is probably what we'll talk about. So let's go ahead and just kick it off. And JP, go ahead and introduce yourself, guys. We'll start with JP.
How you guys doing? I'm JP from the Age of Darks podcast. Drinking the black labels, having a good time. Is that good?
That works for me, man. Do you like long walks on the beach, or let's here let's name one of your favorite things? How about that?
Carling Black Label.
There you go.
Autopsy. Just pointing to stats or on my person. But fucking happy to be here. Happy to shoot the shit with you guys, get day drunk, and talk about Heresy. This has been an actually surprisingly good year, and I'd like to chat about it.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Next up, we got Jody.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings from Sweden. It's Jody from the Varangian Heresy podcast. I happen to like long walks on the beach, sort of late April evenings with that slight misty red sun, and I'm a very large fan of very large amounts of Jack Daniels and very little Coke. So I like to drink bourbon the proper way on a 3-to-1 ratio in spirit to mixer.
There you go.
Doing it the right way.
I love it. Yeah, one of the common themes I think amongst all of us is we are all alcoholics.
No, nice.
Yeah.
No, I can't afford to be an alcoholic, but Freddie picks up the slack for the podcast, so we're all good.
Yeah. True enough.
I prefer calling myself. I don't think I'm an alcoholic. I think I'm a drunk. There is an addiction. Alcoholics go to meetings.
You're a social day drinker.
That's true. Alcoholics go to meetings. That's a good point.
We just do podcasts.
Yes.
Which really winds up being the equivalent a lot of the time.
Welcome to Heresy.
Just like constant enabling.
And next up, we got Jake Bussey.
What's happening, friends? Jake Bussey, me and Pretty running Covenant of Fire. Currently drinking some tea because I am the sole responsible person for the napping 3-year-old in the house today. And I enjoy sitting out in the woods, freezing my ass off, not seeing anything. Some people call it hunting, but normally that means, implies something gets dead at the end, and that doesn't always happen when I go. So,
sounds like the army without pay.
Yeah, except and it costs more because then you get to buy a bunch of really cool shit that doesn't really do anything because you don't see shit.
So what he's saying is you should have just joined the army, Jake. They would have given you all the shit.
Yeah.
Well, low is bitter shit.
No, well, true.
Yeah, you don't get anything working for the government without, it being the cheapest and the worst.
True
That's
enough.
my job.
And next up in the blank spot on the screen is Tim, all the way from the future.
Yeah, g'day. How's it going? Hi, I'm Tim from the IFRS podcast, and it's 7 a.m. here. So obviously, I've just got some rum in my coffee.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll do.
I do appreciate you waking up at the crack of dawn, Tim, to join us.
Oh, that's all right. I was doing a podcast like 6 hours ago, like a fantasy podcast, and then I was like, "Oh shit, I better have like a modicum of sleep before this, otherwise it'd be crazy."
I'm going to say this, and I don't say it to offend anybody, but Tim may be the hardest working man in Heresy.
No, only at the moment. No, I'm done. After this, I'm done until January 20, end of January.
Well, it's just you've got so many podcasts. Every time I talk to you, there's a new podcast venture in happening. So
yeah, it's a good medium, man. Podcasting, it's easy to do.
If only we could figure out how to make money from this.
No, let's try to make it a bit more realistic. Not lose money for this.
Yeah. Start by evening things out would be a good start.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you take a hobby that's super expensive, and then spend more time on it, even more time on it. Yeah.
I mean, all I need is $15 a month, and then I'm just like breaking even, and I can't even get that. So
Think
It's
about
gonna
all
be
the
some-
friends you've made, Jake.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
even
I mean,
more.
it's not all about money, right? I mean,
That's
I'm
right.
rich. I'm rich in friends and love.
There you go.
And in lies as well, apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
We're just gonna have to make one of those really sappy adopt a puppy type videos
Sarah
for the
McLachlan
Heresy
going on in the
podcast. It's
background.
like, for less than $15 a month, you can adopt a Heresy podcaster.
That's
$15
what
a
we
month will keep a Heresy podcaster from going into their savings and ruining their model. Totally doable.
You don't want to see Jake get a divorce, do you? Donate now.
Donate, yeah, donate now. Don't make this man use his model savings. Donate now and keep him alive.
Yeah,
Keep
you
his
don't want
podcast on the air.
you don't want Jake to forget to move money into that one account for the podcast every single month and get a $35 charge because the bank overdrafted. Do you? Please donate now.
Oh, it's overdraft talk. It's definitely Covenant of Fire in the hat.
Tim, we were waiting for you to get on here because
What's the current mortgage rate? Fucking hell.
Yeah, definitely gonna have some tax talk very soon.
Oh, good. I love a bit of
Oh
tax.
no.
Covenant of Fire tax talk.
Looks like Max has got his video working. What's going on, man?
All right. I'm Max. I enjoy long walks in the rain, not on the beach, and the smell of freshly mown grass
Ooh.
and alcohol.
On the mown grass.
Max, is that like a dress?
I'm glad somebody said something because I wasn't sure.
I mean, this can go into a completely different style of stream, and I can make it into
Hang on,
Well, look, he has his hair up down.
I'm presenting Max to everybody so we can see what's going on here.
Oh, with his man bun.
I've not got a mandolin. I have got.
Can you, like, are you
Oh,
in your
that's
flat
nice.
in Manchester?
In Necromunda, yes, Freddie.
Yeah. Can you please show us your bathroom?
Yeah.
With the mushroomy floor and the fucking... Where water comes out of the floor, not down the shower.
I believe it comes out of the shower and then spills out onto the floor. This is the bathroom currently.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Right, so that's the bathroom.
Is the
And
bin
just-
empty?
Yeah, it is actually. But that's the bathroom, and then look at my room. This fucking box. The bathroom is 3 times bigger than my room.
What the
Max,
who
just move in your bathroom.
was hired to build this house?
It's above like a pizzeria or a kebab shop or some shit. Like it's really,
Actually,
really bad.
that just got a 1-star health rating. So
Max, seriously,
Well,
I just take
that
my
is
bed,
1
like my
star
bed.
more than your bathroom.
My bed would go in the bathroom. I'd change rooms.
Well,
just-
it would-
please,
it would-
I
it
can
would
just
get
about fit a
noisy
king size in.
because the floor is all bubbly.
Yeah, it's gonna fall through. The landlord has been notified, and I'm just gonna let it happen. It's not my property.
I just hope you're not in the bath whenever it happens.
It sounds like you live in a village from Fireman Sam, like living above a chip shop.
We don't all look like Fireman Sam, so it can't possibly be the Fireman Sam village.
No, you
No,
currently
it
look
looks
like
more like
Fireman
the
Samantha
Underhive.
post-op.
Like Manchester looks like someone dropped some sort of fucking 70s bomb on a city and then dazzle it with slum.
I didn't realize we were going to do Heresy Cribs tonight, so.
Oh god.
This is just because Freddie's jealous because his town doesn't have any soul. It doesn't have any character.
It doesn't have any Nando's, that's true. The only thing that.
Well, Terry
Yeah,
lives in a
because Freddie
neighborhood.
walked past all the fucking immense eateries and went straight to a Nando's like a Neanderthal when he was here in Manchester.
What are you
Well
talking
done,
about?
Freddie.
You mean your fucking -1 star health rating restaurants? Where they
No,
have
we
the
usually
live
skip that one and
cockroaches.
go to all the critically acclaimed ones down the street, not 100 meters from our house.
I don't know. I've never been to Manchester, but now
This is why we don't speak anymore, Freddie. This is why we don't speak anymore.
That and I had to fucking open the door to all those bill collectors and shit when I was there.
Yeah, right. So this is because my landlord's such an ass. He's not paid any of the bills in about 2 years, but the lights remain on, so I don't care. Not my problem.
Obviously not.
So,
I don't even know what to
I'm
say.
still
there.
sat here with the internet and light.
Where am I putting these legs?
You've not got your video on. We don't know
Yeah.
what legs.
There's more context required for that.
Why is my video off?
Behind your head.
Turn camera off. Turn camera on.
Let's see. So the voice you hear is Freddie the Swede. He's the last one of us to introduce himself today. Oh, look at that.
There he is.
And there he is.
Is
that
this
a-
working now?
A nemesis?
What?
Is that a nemesis?
Oh,
No, it's a warlord.
Oh,
I was
okay.
trying to put it down.
Can't tell.
There's
Just
too much shit here. There we go. Hello.
What's going on, Freddie?
Ah, nothing much. Sitting in my room, doing hobby stuff. I don't know. Enjoying glories of the past. Oh, wrong way. That way. Here's something for you. Where's
I think he froze again. God damn
Did
it.
I freeze here? So I blame you.
I think it's that socialist internet that you guys have over there.
Or it froze because it's so damn cold in the Arctic fucking circle.
Oh, could be that also. Oh,
Is it working?
yeah, you're right.
we're back.
I have something for JP that he needs to see.
Yeah.
Zip.
Dang it. One.
What you got there, bud?
It's gone again.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
That's
sweet.
Oh.
If the camera
Oh,
came back
fucking
and it
awesome.
stood
Is that
up,
an original?
Yeah.
You fucker. That's awesome.
Nice.
Almost
That's all.
makes me
What
me
about-
tolerate your shitty hat.
What about this?
Ooh.
Oh,
Jesus, I need
that's
to
the third
walk.
edition. That's nice. That's
Oh, this one.
that's a sweet one. That's a sweet one. Where the fuck are you getting this stuff?
What do you mean? I'm old, mate. Have you forgot about that?
Those are really
He just goes to his parents' attic every few months and comes back with stuff. I don't.
yeah. Fucking
It's that blue
It's incredible
fucking
stuff,
police
man.
thing.
You see, I'm super nostalgic for that old stuff for that period, like 87 to like 90 around then, because I was getting into the hobby around that time. But those were the books that were on the shelves that I wanted and never got. And
mean
so I'm
these
super
ones?
nostalgic for this period of Human Workshop. Exactly. Well, I got the reprint of that, which is great. And hopefully they're going to reprint Lost and the Damned as well. I think they will.
It's really just a
but
license
yeah,
for
like,
them to make money because guys our age, that's the shit that we'll buy. They're like, oh, we reprinted this and done. Inquisitor, yeah. Look at that.
Isn't that the one? Isn't that the book that implies that the Emperor can be brought back to life at any time?
It implies that narrative wargaming is shit.
It is shit. I think we can all agree on that.
There's a whole group of Inquisitors, JP.
Man, you have all the fucking goodies.
There's a whole sect of Inquisitors who are all about, like, turn the fucking throne off, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what.
Make it
Because if you turn it off, and will come back or something like that, and that's one of the big conflicts in Inquisitor.
it just
Yeah.
needs a
Oh, the
reprint.
compendium. Well,
It's
yeah, you know
back
what?
as
This is
fucking-
gonna be.
Not Primaris fucking Magnus. This is the real one.
This is
guy
a
right
stream.
there.
We're just gonna look at Freddy's things.
Yeah, that's
For the
fine. I think
next
everybody's okay
hour.
with that.
I'm going to
Let's
show
just
you.
look at Freddy's things.
Yeah.
I'm just going to rename this Freddy's
You know what?
thing.
We should just set up a system where we could like give tokens for like Freddy to show us more of his things.
Yeah,
Like I'll
Cam-
fucking give 50 tokens. That fucking Lost in the Damned.
I have
glad
all
So
the-
this is the end of the 2018 podcast, and we're currently looking at things from 20 years ago.
Oh wait,
Yes.
I got something that you
Been
would
a
love.
great year, guys.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, nice.
I'm
I'm glad
jealous.
JP went straight to the cam whore method of selling shit.
Buy a
Again,
raffle
with-
like-
ticket.
This
You
is
might
how
go
we're
to
going
my
to raise
room.
money for the podcast. This is
Yeah,
our
that's
long-term plan. Is just Cam and Freddie's
Yeah.
back catalogue out.
It's a good idea for a show. Just
Well, we're
spread this
never
over-
getting the Freddy real dog being promised for years.
Ooh.
It all looks brand new. Also, have you noticed that?
What do you mean brand new?
Well,
I look after my shit.
Being in the ice, man.
yeah.
It's fucking preserved.
Being in the frozen north where it never gets warm. Never gets humid.
Yeah, I think he stores it in a cave beyond the wall.
Oh, I know. This one you love.
Freddy can just open random 1980s books to random pages and we just tell him how we feel. Oh, yeah, that's a good...
Yeah.
That's not the best one, though. The best one is the next one. No, sorry. 2 down the line, 0.5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, there's two third edition codexes for...
3.5 or whatever.
You got the 3.5?
Good one. Yeah, the super modular.
I have that one. That has 3 battle bunkers in there. That's fucking awesome. So you can play the campaign. Hey, Freddie, did you build your 3 battle bunkers?
Yes, I did.
Where are they?
Of course I did.
Do you still have them?
I still have 2 battle bunkers unbuilt. I'm gonna start pulling out my shoe.
Anyway, I can't be fucked out. I broke a sweat.
It's like a really unique dick measuring contest.
Yeah.
Can you focus on JP so we can see he's just like at the end of the room, like rummaging?
My name is Freddie. I'm of the Dragon Heresy podcast.
Hang on, JP.
The best codex ever made.
Yeah,
I like reading John Blanche and that's about it.
This shit out.
And beer. You like beer.
I have
And beer.
unbuilt battle bunkers. Eh?
That's pretty impressive.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Quality.
Yeah,
It's too late. It's too late, JP. We already played that game. It's over now. We moved on.
Oh man. Well, as I said before, I'm Chris from TFL. I love fast cars and faster women, but I'm old and married, so now it's just fast cars. And enjoy boxed wine. So that's my spiel. If you see me at Adepticon, I will share my boxed wine at the table with you.
But only the finest box wine.
Yeah, only the finest. It's the black
$4 and up.
Get that Franzia shit out of here.
Yeah,
You would love being in Sweden then, because apparently drinking box wine is like more fancy than drinking bottled wine.
That's crazy.
You know what the secret is with boxed wine, though? What you have to do is you have to take the bag out, and then you can use duct tape to make a belt around it, and then you carry it around like a sash. And that way you're not like carrying around your fucking like the whole box. That's a music festival trick.
That is a
and then once you when you drank it all, you can use it as a pillow.
Yeah,
that's a life hack right there.
Yeah, right. Mine.
That's free of charge.
Well, you can. The best thing about cask wine, or as we call it in Australia, goon. I think we might have invented it in Australia, and it's always been like super bogan bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's a thing called Goon of Fortune. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Fucking club, bro.
So in Australia we've got these things called because over in Australia we were separated from the mainland, from the motherland for years and years. So Australia invented a ton of shit. Like lawnmowers, like a powered lawnmower. You just push around, just goes cuts all your grass.
That was invented in Australia.
Yeah, fucking
Australia, basically the technology equivalent of convergent evolution.
Also, have you ever heard of a thing called
what Max just said?
Yeah, have you ever heard of a thing called Wi-Fi? You're welcome. Australia invented that too. But we also invented things called a Hills hoist, which is essentially just a whole bunch of steel tubes made into a frame that you hang your clothes on to dry outside in the sun because it's always sunny here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called a Hills hoist. So what you do at a party if you wanted to play Goon of Fortune is you basically get like a goon bag, like those bag wine, box wine. You get the bag out. And you get several of them. You hang them off your Hills hoist, which is like a big square thing, which spins around, so you can turn it to face the sun, right? But
yeah, we've got those. I've seen them here.
Yeah. So you hang your goon off that, and then everybody stands in a circle, and then you spin it, and if it lands at you, you've got to drink as much goon as you can handle.
Holy shit!
So that's what you would do at a party, Goon of Fortune. And it depends if you want everyone to be really drunk, then you hang multiple goon bags off your your clothes drying machine and just spin it around. It's pretty crazy, and it's definitely like a thing that's happened. I've been at parties where people have played.
You have been at parties.
Yeah, man.
Well, trust that I'm going to YouTube this as soon as we get done here.
That's how far ahead we are from everybody. Everyone's like sitting in the stream going, "Whoa, holy shit!" Yeah, well, you're welcome.
Tim has been to parties.
Have you guys seen the goon suit?
No, I haven't
Oh
seen that.
yeah.
Right, check the. This is great even for TV, but check the message group for this thing. I just sent a picture of it, and it's literally people like how to hide a goon bag in your suit and look classy.
Oh, I'm looking at it now. Oh, that's perfect.
You guys
That is business attire, man. Business attire drinking.
you call it goon over there?
We do
bag
over
wine.
Bag in a box.
Oh, that's fucking genius. That is genius.
Yeah.
Can you load that up? Can we load pictures up on the screen? Is that something we can do?
Yeah, hold on. I can.
I'm unaware. Of
that happens pretty.
Yeah, I can do it. Hang on. Let me.
Hey Tim,
Yo.
you remember this bad boy?
Oh, hold on. Let me. Oh, yeah.
He hasn't stopped just showing shit off, by the way, while we've been talking.
Gold trucks.
Okay,
gold
here's the goon suit,
Oh,
guys. Screen share.
Have you played much more of that, Freddie?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
All right, so
Have you killed anyone? Is there a campaign? Like, what do you do?
No, I haven't had time to do it.
Oh, I don't know what's happening.
Like a couple of one-offs.
Yeah.
You've officially done the infinite well of broadcasting.
I'm not sure what happened. Let me try to fix this.
Whoa.
Whoa.
If any viewers are high right now, I probably just fucked you up. So
Early in the morning for this man. When you're upside down, on the upside down here.
yeah, God, I don't know what I'm doing. Stop. Okay. So just Google goon suit.
Yeah, what he's describing is somebody is wearing a jacket, and the jacket has made into it an area, like a giant pocket that you can put a bag from a cask wine into. I feel like Australia invented cask wine. I don't know why, but like it just seems like an Australian thing.
It
Australian
seems
thing,
right.
Grab your fucking game box, cunt. Fucking let's go.
Here is a stream of Goon of Fortune from Australia Day.
All right, I'm presenting you to everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Because it's a little thing. Like the number of times that I've like drunk directly from one of those little cask things, like a nipple, it's crazy. Yeah, look, see, there we go. Spin it. Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna have to drink all the game?
In the fucking Goon can.
For a few years, they used to have a thing here. It was like a goon bag, but instead of having wine or white wine, whatever, it had it was vodka and orange. So it was just like vodka and orange cask thing that you just be like, you know, in a party area like the Gold Coast, like the GC, and just everyone would be walking around with fucking just like boxes of vodka and with vodka and orange in them, just drinking out of straight from the cask. It's crazy.
That's proper gangster, that is.
Yeah,
Wild stuff.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's I don't know what to say. I'm impressed. I'll just say that I'm impressed.
You should be.
I'm gonna take my goon bag game to the next level.
That's why I don't drink so much anymore, man. Too much goon. Just like it's too many times. Just throwing. Yeah, I'm never picking up that box again.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was drinking on the telethon night. I had a box of wine and I completely killed it. And I think it's 4 bottles in a box. So
yeah, you have 5 liters usually. A box of wine. I'm not alcoholic or anything, so
It's just safety, personal safety knowledge, right, JP? Just to know how much.
Just for information,
Yeah,
it's 1.5 liters.
Yeah, so that I do. You're right. So Heresy, 2018. Let's go around the round table and share what was our Heresy highlight for the year. Who wants to kick it off?
I liked the death of Heresy.
Oh, yeah. I think Heresy is dead.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, that was such a big part of pre-Adepticons. That was right at the beginning of the year.
That was like January, I think, wasn't it? January, February.
Because we were on the lookout for Steve Turner at Adepticon, so we could talk to him about the death of Heresy. Or Steve Fox, whatever that guy's name is.
In the ceiling, man. Scabby Steve. He sent me a friend request on Facebook, and I'm just like, ew.
No.
Like, not after you killed Heresy, you bastard. Like,
Yeah.
delete.
Request that's just sitting in my queue. That I'm just like, I'm just gonna leave that there forever.
I still, it's
I
still.
feel that-
Sorry, I was gonna say that brought out one of my favorite memes of like all time, because somebody actually used the Punisher movie with John Travolta and Thomas Jane in it, where he left the gravestone on the golf course, and it's just got Heresy with the date scratched out, and it's like just perfect.
Yeah,
it's one of the best memes for that one.
Yeah, who made that one?
I feel that with
No idea, but they're geniuses. Sorry, JP. Go on.
Nothing has been declared dead more often recently than Heresy. A dubious distinction it shares with God. Like every philosopher has somehow written something to the effect of God is dead, and fucking Heresy all fucking year. It hasn't stopped. Every single goddamn thing Games Workshop ever did, even tangentially related to the Heresy, has somehow been more indication that somehow Heresy is dead. Yeah, it's been a dominant theme. I will freely admit.
Do you know the best thing was when they did the live stream thing with like Tony Cottrell and Andy Hoare and that sort of thing, and they were all like, "No, Heresy's not dead. No, Heresy's gonna go for another 28,000 years." Ha ha ha. And then like 2 weeks later, they're like, "Also, we're skyrocketing the prices. Have an extra 60% on everything Australia just for no reason. You can get the exact same thing. Suck our dicks." Like, okay, cool. So Heresy's not dead, but price has just gone up 60%. Like for no reason.
I'm gonna say that it's not hard to stay positive.
Yeah.
Only for one person here. We're up 2% for us.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that was what they start talking about. Hard to stay positive. Yeah, the price increase, that was one that initially, I mean, I still don't like it. I mean, nobody likes to pay more for a product. I don't think anyone's going to say voluntarily, I will pay 20%, 60%, whatever more.
Well, JP did if it went to the collective.
Dude, this is the most like fucking angry I've ever made anybody. This is the fucking craziest thing that happened all in 2018. Somehow me defending capitalism became the angriest anybody's ever been mad at me for. Like I said, I didn't justify. I tried to reason my way through the price increases, and in so doing, I made some kind of defense of market capitalism, and people fucking jumped on me. So I fucking learned a lesson. Just so long as I keep fucking doing the socialist propaganda, people are fine. If ever I defend capitalism, people are angry.
JP, I will never get mad at you for defending capitalism.
Nationalized Games Workshop.
Remember to stay in your lane, JP. It's all about staying in your lane, buddy.
I think
I think that's where I went wrong.
Yeah.
I think what a lot of people don't stop to think, there's a big section of the community out there that kind of views Games Workshop as the evil empire. They've got some evil agenda that I don't quite understand it, because basically at the end of the day, and we could spend 2 hours talking about this, which I don't want to do, but I just want to throw this out there, kind of to what you were saying, JP, is it is a business, and you don't always have the full insight. I'm not defending GW. I'm not defending Forge World price increase, but you don't always have the big picture when you're from the outside looking in. Speaking as someone that runs a business, when we increase prices on certain things, I hear it. Now, when we increase prices, it's usually on things people need, which is unfortunate, but there's drivers that drive these increases, whether it's fuel cost or the cost of feeding a cow has gone up, or there's 101 things that are out there. And so that's why, I didn't like it, but I just kind of shrugged and said, well, this is a luxury thing for me. I can still afford to buy what I want to buy. And so I still love the Heresy, and I'm going to continue. Now, maybe I'm buying more used, or maybe I'm buying CDR or another recaster. But I have bought from Forge World since the price increase. It's part of the business. So that was kind of my take on it. That's why I didn't dwell on it. And I know there's a lot of people that got super angry, and there was rants and I don't know. To me, it was kind of a low point just from a community standpoint in the year.
And
First
Jake,
world problems at the absolute
Yeah, exactly. First world problems, 100%.
Freddie's buying all this stuff. What sort of taxes is he subject to?
What was that?
What sort of tax? Yeah, what?
8.25. 8.25.
See, okay, so you want to know the really shitty part about the price increase. So not only does my price go up, but now I get to pay 0.0925 sales tax thanks to the state of Tennessee.
Gee, fucking
on top of shipping, which is $10.
Yeah.
That's what pissed me off.
How much what's your sales tax again?
No one is defending this. No one's saying it's good.
Yeah.
I think it was the really negative things that happened this year as the price increases. And also, Jake's entirely there. Like, it turns out it was even worse that they started shipping from North America. It's not any cheaper for Canadians either, even though I didn't get the worst of it. And that's why I sympathize with my Austin Kiwi brothers who got worse than Canada did. But at the end of the day, this isn't a company that jacked up the price on fucking insulin. I mean, it's a lot. Chris, you're entirely right, man. Like, it's a luxury product, and it sucks that it's more expensive, but you don't need this to live.
So I'm going to give
honestly
you
paint that you already probably have.
I'm going to give you a different
man. Like, I think people flipped out a little too much. I don't know.
Give you a different example.
Just to live? What are you crazy?
Just a quick alternate take in a different hobby. So one of my loves is cars, and when you look at buying or rebuilding, sending off and having a carburetor for a 62 Vet rebuilt, and you're looking at $600 and some odd for that, that's a luxury thing. And that's like, well, it's a hobby that I enjoy. It's something that I want for this hobby, and I don't want to pay it. It seems expensive, but that's just what's going to happen for me to drive this Corvette, or for me to feel this.
You would have rebuilt it yourself.
If I was my dad, yeah, I probably would have, but I'm not. And
man, I have friends that play golf. You want an expensive fucking hobby?
Yeah, exactly. Or guns.
Like, well, hey! I didn't want to start any fucking pricing talk. Everyone knows I don't fucking give a fuck.
No, he just wanted to let the match through it and run.
And also down here, we'll be okay. We've got there's other countries.
There's resources.
There's other countries out there. Let's just say that,
it's all about resource management,
JP's friends in mainland China,
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, I'm going to China in 6 days. Like,
not in that dress you are.
Connections when I get back.
Yeah, dude, you'll never find anything over there. Like, if you try and go to China and look for stuff, you're fucked. There's too much shit. That's what the internet's for, bro.
He's just swamped in recast shit.
Hey, when you're over there, make sure you go to that the prostitute city that they have in China. Have you heard about that?
Oh, really? No.
So there's like 50 million more men than women in China. So apparently there's a whole city, which is just like a whore city.
Really?
You'll do really well in that dress there, man.
He lives in Manchester.
It was on Vice. I'm pretty sure there's Vice did a show about
all the prostitutes here, Freddie, have like one leg and a stumpy arm. So,
yeah, but that's the quality ones. I used to live in Manchester. Not that I know anything about it, but I've heard.
Well, you were Gloucester, weren't you?
Yeah. Like I said, near outside of, slightly more rarefied air out there.
Yeah, Max, I like how you're suggesting the quality of women in a whore city would be better.
No, the quality of the whores in the whore city would be better than the quality of the whores in my not hoary city.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, so you are saying that. Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yeah, well, me and Freddie did agree that it's definitely like sort of the sexy druggy look in Manchester more than the very pristine look that he has in Stockholm. But take it that what you will.
Interesting.
You mean that night when we were supposed to go out for like one beer and then go home, and we went home at like fucking 5 a.m?
Yeah, that one. Exactly that one. And then Phil was waiting an hour later at the train stop to pick you up.
Yeah. That was gold.
Yeah, Freddie, I like how you're trying to seem fucking all innocent. Oh, yeah, I like that time.
That time with Max. It's all Max's fault.
Yeah, that's how most drinking stories start around with Heresy.
Besides, now we when we found out that Phil is like a fucking AIDS of shit more apologetic, and plays
I
for
wonder
Reading,
when this is going to come up.
then obviously it doesn't matter. He could have stayed at that train station fucking the whole day.
I couldn't believe it. We might have had our last episode without even knowing it because it's horrendous. I couldn't believe it. Speechless.
What was the hashtag? End Road of Terra? Or Road to Terra?
Cancel Road to Terror.
Yeah, cancel.
Jesus Christ. Well, I reckon a highlight was Adepticon for me, at least. Like meeting you guys. Well, a lot of you guys.
Oh, are you taking it away from the tax talk?
Well, are you trying to make this into something positive?
Let's move on to positive.
I'll make it positive.
Let's talk about Ukraine.
What was
in
the
the
exchange
30s.
rate? What was the exchange rate?
Okay, so after listening to like lots of tax talk on Covenant of Fire, it's one of my favorite things.
Tune into our next episode. We've got more coming.
Oh, good.
But I went to 0.5% or whatever it is.
Yeah, I went to America, and a couple of times I went to buy shit. I'm just like, blah, blah, blah. I want that thing. And they're like, okay. And then they told me a different price to the one advertised. And I'm like, isn't it meant to be $4, not $4.30 or whatever? And they're like, oh, no, plus tax. And I'm like, oh, fuck. All right. And I continually was like, I don't know, why don't you just put the fucking price something costs? Like, why do you have to constantly be adding shit up? Like, really
they're all different tax. The municipality may have a tax, the county might have a tax, the state might have a tax, and on top of that, depending on the type of item it is, it might have a different tax rate than another item.
Or
so does every other fucking country, and they put the final price on the product.
Yeah,
fucking hard.
No, see, you put the lowest price. You put the lowest price, so that way everybody looks at it and goes,
oh, American thing.
Yeah,
they do that in fucking Canada too. They don't put the final price thing, so you have to make the calculation for the 14.46% fucking tax.
Because somebody would walk into a McDonald's.
Every big boy country except for Canada and the United States put the fucking actual price on the product.
Well, you walk into McDonald's, you would say, I want that cheeseburger. That cheeseburger is $1.30 here, and it's $1 next door. I'm going next door. I'm not going to shop here because it's more expensive here. Even though it's not, because people are fucking retarded. That's what it boils down to.
No, because you make all of the shops. You make everywhere do it, Jay. You don't just make one shop do it.
No, they will. But my point is then people drive to the McDonald's.
That one shop is taxed, no one else.
Yeah,
well,
that's how you're gonna fund your municipal services.
If it was like a fucking rule that all other countries have, that you have to have the final price on your fucking product, then it wouldn't matter because they will see it's $1.50 here, it's $1.50 next town.
We don't want
you know what it is? It's because this is like the retail lobby that fought against this, the idea of putting the final sticker price in North America, because the idea is that they sort of want to like to remind people that they're not responsible for things being more expensive. They want to remind people that they have to pay tax, and that creates this fucking anti-tax sort of movements that are like endemic in North America, not United States and Canada as well. Anti-tax movements are just this endemic movement going on forever.
Hey, it doesn't fucking matter now because everyone's got fucking cards, and you're just like, whatever, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Tim, let me tell you this. Why is this important?
Well, I'm saying growing up, like you guys must have been so fucking annoying. You go to get some fucking lollies, and you don't know how many to pick up. I've got 18 cents. I've got 50 cents on me, and these lollies are 2 cents each, but also there's 2.5 sales tax on the total.
Yeah, well, if you do all that math, how come you're so fucking retarded then?
Hey, Freddie, let me tell you something. It's very important to always know exactly how much tax you're paying, so you always know how much you're getting fucked. Because once they roll it into the total price, if they just said, "Oh, it's $6," you don't know that the government's taking half of that. So you want to know. You want it to piss you off every time you pay. You want to get mad about it, so that way you fight about it.
What do you mean? It's super easy. Right. If it's anything except petrol and alcohol, it's 25%. If it's alcohol, it's 400%. If it's petrol, it's like 4,000%.
No, you want to go? Oh,
are you talking about gasoline?
60 cents on that?
Freddie, are you talking about gasoline when you say petrol?
Yeah, whatever.
Petrol, like what you put in your fuel tank.
Gas canisters.
Fucking gas tanks, man.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
All right. Can we move on to tax talk?
Yeah,
you put in your fuel tank.
Well, somebody got me back to it, but I did bring it up.
Let's move on.
What was the exchange rate?
Tim, what was the exchange rate? Has not brought up tax talk at all. We've been brought into the conversation. It's always been brought up by other people. So let's just let that be a reminder.
Right. What was the exchange
Tim,
rate
you
when you
want-
went to Adepticon, Tim?
It was Max this time. See. Oh, what was it? I have no idea. Yeah, I didn't.
Well, how do you know how much you're getting fucked?
Wasn't it like about 2 for 1?
Yeah, you can't worry about that, man. If you start worrying about that, then you just start being like, "Oh shit!" Like it's worse when you go to the UK. Like at one point, the pound was fucking $3 Australian for £1. So like you go to a fucking.
Well, you
Indian
never have to worry about that anymore. I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
yeah. But like fucking.
Now it's like
that's-
toilet paper.
Let's talk about Brexit.
All right. Yeah, I think we're down to two viewers right now after the last half hour of Jack's talk. And then when you said Brexit, we lost the last two. So.
All right, Tim, you wanted to mention how great Adepticon is. Let's
Yes.
or was.
Yeah,
Let's-
no.
let's go
I want
back
to
with
hear
that.
about JP at the Adepticon.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Just
Don't
remind
worry.
me. I love
I-
that episode.
You'll have to tell me about it because I don't know.
Yeah, I know. That was your episode about Adepticon.
JP, we had a great time.
with Freddy, but I can't remember anything. I was like, oh,
I
yeah,
remember
that was fun.
bits. I remember
Like?
bits and pieces.
Making a fool out of yourself.
I don't know. You yelling at me?
Says Freddy.
I remember bits and pieces of that too.
It was just Freddie yelling at you while you were fucking tanked as fuck.
Yeah.
One of my
Please pay
round.
attention.
My
One of my
favorite.
Go to round. You have
Yeah.
to go to round.
My favorite.
I don't know
JP
why
moment was
my
when he was
impression
like,
of you is Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's
Well, you should have seen the look on Jake and Chris's face when we tried to play a game with them.
It was a glorious game, sir.
It didn't help that I dropped my box like as I'm walking to the table and about half my models broke.
Oh man.
Hey, I will tell you, we forged the fuck out of that narrative. For
that was
game.
a great game, and yeah, we
you
made a
remember
fucking
that
whole
now.
like story, and like fucking Freddy's just looking there like unimpressed while like we're crafting a story, and he just wants to get the game going because he's a whack player.
I killed so many farmers.
You know, we're trying to forge a narrative here, and Freddy's just impatient.
Yeah, no. But it's
will
okay to
rightfully-
forge a narrative. It's not okay to drag the poor fucking Americans through 30 minutes of you thinking about what to do with your fucking Volgans and then just do nothing.
I don't need to think about what I do. I do the same thing every time. Go to ground.
Should
And
I
it's
charge
still
this
discipline.
Leviathan? Oh, wait, I don't know. Let's talk about this. Let's have a political debate for like half an hour and then decide, no, I'm not going to charge it. I'll just go to ground instead.
Actually,
That was
what
the plan.
I don't know.
Or-
I don't know what the political leanings of the particular Volgans that had to actually issue the charge order is a possibility that it went against their class interest and therefore something that needs to be taken into account.
So they had like a little pulley
You don't
truck
think about
meeting
stuff like
there.
this,
and-
Freddie, because you're a whack gamer.
Hey, I will just
Agreed.
tell you guys that weren't, especially you guys that weren't there. One of my favorite memories, and I've got a lot of great memories from this last year's Adepticon, being on the other side of the room and hearing JP yelling, "Fix bayonets!"
Let's try to take down Angron.
and me knowing exactly what's happening. And I'm just like, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
I bet that guy had a great game, JP.
That was like 5 hours.
I don't know.
4
I
hours.
haven't heard anything. I think everybody enjoyed playing
Wait, are you
again
talking about
because
Are you
it's
talking
like
about
an
the
auto win. You know you're gonna win because I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna actually use proper tactics or anything like that. I
Unless
go
you
with
don't win,
the
then
narrative.
what is it?
Freddie?
Oh, we won against Jake.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
except for
about?
that
We
time
won.
that we
We had
lost. Yeah.
4 games, Freddie. We only lost 1 fucking game.
Yeah,
We had a good record, man.
I know.
Freddie,
Fucking
you
shit
talking
me
about
on
the
you
game
being a shitty teammate. We did better than half the teams there, Freddie.
Freddie, you're
just,
talking about the game where JP did the bayonet charge on Angron? Because that's the game that I was in with like it was me and JP and another dude versus 3. Oh, was it 3 fucking World Eater armies?
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
JP doesn't remember, but yeah, that was the fucking funniest game ever, man. Because JP just showed up like 15 minutes late and then handed his list on like
No,
a cup
he's never late.
box.
No,
Just like, here you go, here's my army. And we're all like, holy shit. Yeah. In that game, also my army, my entire force was dead by like turn 2 or something. So then I just like got to just sit there and drink and just watch JP play against like 3 World Eater armies.
I threw 60 men at Angron. He killed them all.
That's amazing.
He had one wound left because I had taken a wound off of him with like a fucking with an artillery round. He had one fucking wound left. I sent it a bayonet charge, couldn't get a fucking wound on him. Sent it a second bayonet charge, again couldn't put a wound on him. Third bayonet charge, and the thing is, my Vulcans were like they were stubborn, but they were still getting like cut down because I'd fail my leadership test every fucking time. So Angron like fucking killed at least like 60 guys. It was horrible. He just fucking murdered. He had one fucking wound left. I couldn't take him down.
He killed him.
This is what happened when you don't go to ground and enact discipline. That's the only thing you need to do.
No. I killed a lot of my own men too. I mean, this is my militia army. I usually kill at least as much if my own men as.
Yeah, you took 3 wounds off him just with last pistols. Just like shoot last pistol, then charge, and then
but I didn't get the last one. He had one wound left, and I couldn't get that goddamn last wound on him.
But he was unkillable. Remember, I sent my Ursarax, so I had like 24 strength 10 AP2 attacks. Just charged them in, and he just killed them all. Like, they're all dead now.
Casual anger.
Yeah, and I was under points too because I had forgotten a couple things. Like my Malkador had flare shields. I forgot about it. And so it got blown up by a fucking melt-a-gun, even though it had. I forgot it had flare shields. So, but that's what happens when you write your army on the back of a case of Miller Genuine Draft in the lunch before the game.
That also is a favorite memory of mine.
That we also picked up
because
servo with the taxi.
Not just because he was writing it on the back of the menu, but that also had the remarkable conversation.
Oh, the remarkable! Yes, the remarkable. Where's Sean, by the way?
I think he's in school or something, or working, or yeah, I don't know. I wish he was here though, because he could definitely help. That also was a highlight. Man, so many good memories from the Choose Adepticon.
Yeah, so anybody out there that this is who's gonna watch this?
I don't know.
Anybody that's on the fence for Adepticon, it really is the best time. I gotta miss out this year because I had to choose that or the Weekender. I'm gonna be at the Weekender in the UK instead. But like next year I'll be back. Adepticon is the best day of the fucking.
Are we gonna play then?
Pardon?
That's a Weekender. Are you bringing an army?
I'm bringing these guys. I gotta pay these guys.
Oh, you're bringing those guys.
I'm bringing Adeptus Titanicus. Adeptus Titanicus is a godsend for actually traveling with an army. Instead of bringing like 75 pounds of fucking metal models.
Just play custards, JP.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have self-respect. I'm not going to be doing that.
Well, I think my favorite memory from Adepticon was after being detained for 2 hours, stumbling around the airport trying to call JP, whose phone wasn't working, and then talking to Mark for like half an hour, and then suddenly thinking about giving everything up, and then some douchebag just walked down the escalator and screamed, "Freddy!"
Yeah, okay. I don't want to fucking minimize how incredible this was. All right. Freddie and I are flights for getting into O'Hare International Airport. Have you ever been to O'Hare International Airport? It's like the second or third busiest airport in the world.
It's crazy busy.
Right? I get in. And I'm supposed to call Freddie because our flights were getting about the same time. We're going to split a cab to Schaumburg. And so I try to use my phone. My phone's not fucking working. So I start fucking panicking. It's like, oh, shit. So I start wandering around O'Hare International Airport. Again, there's a train in the airport because it's so big. So I'm fucking going around panicking. It's like, fuck. And eventually I wound up calling Zach from 500 Worlds podcast because my phone's not working. And I know his number. So I bought a phone card, used a payphone, called Zach. It's like, you have to call Freddie and tell him to meet me here because my phone's not working. And as I'm doing this shit, I spot this fucking idiot with a Bruins hat. No, I didn't have Bruins hats at the time. It's just I'm fucking shit on the Bruins right now. Well, yeah, I spot this guy fucking walking down. It's like, oh my god! I start fucking running. He's ready.
And they started playing like this romantic music.
Found this guy.
I lift him up in my arms.
It's like a scene from an '80s movie. It's beautiful.
It was a lovely moment.
Mouth. Yeah, it was beautiful. And then we went into a taxi. How much? It's like, it's going to be expensive for you guys. Okay, we don't care. Get us to the bottle.
Just get us there, please.
It's
Dear
like
God,
what,
I've spent enough time
alcohol
over here.
it's like what, $50 from the airport to Schaumburg?
Yeah.
Via the 7-Eleven, where beer is cheaper than, I don't know, which is retarded, cheaper than a bottle store in Sweden. The 7-Eleven beer. It's retarded.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
It's like they're giving it away.
It's crazy. Where's the 400%
Why does
alcohol
everybody's
tax?
DEFCON memories revolve around me? I'm uncomfortable with this.
Graham McNeil probably.
Yeah.
His memory doesn't revolve around you. That's for sure.
I bet it does, though. I bet if you ask him, he's gonna be like, "Let me tell you about one of my favorite Adepticon memories."
Let me tell you about this Canadian guy who was leaning at a 45-degree angle, holding up by his weird Swedish mate, trying to make him, "You need to go to bed, mate. You're like drooling, and no one understands a word you're saying."
That's awesome. Well, I think when you start talking about 2018 memories, yeah, I think for me it's the events. Adepticon being the biggest one. I also want to shout out. I went for the day to Heresy Camp, and so that was like, saw a bunch of great people that I know from the internet. But the reason I mentioned the events is it's not so much about the games played, but just fucking getting together with all these cool people that I've met over the last couple of years, and I see them once or maybe twice a year at different points in the U.S. for an event. That to me was a big point of 2018 with regards to my personal heresy. Just again going to Adepticon, going to Heresy Camp, just drinking and spending great times with these guys, sharing a room with Bussy. That's memorable for a lot of reasons.
Always.
Yes, but I don't know. That's me. I mean, that's I don't know. I mean, it's hard, especially when you look at the amount of time. Like, I haven't had a lot of game time this year just due to work, and so that's also been my most games played is when I've traveled out to these events. So, yeah, that's my 2018, and probably going to be a lot of my 2019 is just the events and seeing everybody. I'm sad that a lot of people aren't going to Adepticon this year just due to other travels. But I know that LVO 2020 is kind of becoming the thing. I think everyone's going to try to meet up at. Yeah, it's on the books. But then I also want to mention the Heresy family that has come to Texas in 2018 and stayed. So Tim and Michael came prior to Adepticon, which was freaking badass.
We slept Velatara style in your.
I will tell you. So, and I mentioned it to Tim and Bussy already, and I'm going to make this happen. You know how you go to a restaurant and they've got like pictures of the famous people that have eaten in the restaurant?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I've had many famous Heresy podcasters sleep in my spare bedroom. And so I want to start that for the spare bedroom. Have a picture of Freddie, a signed picture of Freddie, signed picture of Tim and Michael, Bussy, George from Spacemen with Guns. And then I'm sure there'll be other Heresy alum that come and travel to Texas and stay here in the future. So I'm not sure what my wife is going to say about it. I need to break that news to her, but that's kind of, I want to do that, have the pictures in there. So
just break it to her once you've done it. Break it to her once you've done it, mate. That's the thing. Forgiveness is easier than permission. We know this.
Yeah, that's probably right. But yeah, it was great. Tim and Michael coming down. We shot guns and just had a good time.
Yeah, dude, that was fucking awesome. Yeah, Texas is fucking great. So yeah, no, it was a good time. And yeah, everyone was super nice, and everything we ate was fucking great. And this is just this fucking rad. I saw so much crazy shit there.
Yeah, it was just badass. And then George came for the telethon. He got stun gunned, which I've still got the stun gun here on my desk. Stun gun for the telethon, which was awesome. And then Bussy came for a Texas Mile back in October, which is fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you like fast cars. So we also got, each of these trips we also got some Heresy in, so it was Heresy related. But yeah, it's probably my tops for 2018.
You had me thinking with that tasering about the DMD raffle, and it was a funny moment in Heresy, not my top moment, but getting waxed live on the internet.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that looked fucking painful. That looked worse than the fucking tasering.
Oh, it was so fucking painful.
It was certainly longer.
Yeah, yeah. Although to be fair, I have to give shouts to Alistair from Portraits of Rude Cosplay and formerly of podcasting dude. He did pay up on the money he donated for me to get my arse waxed.
Mhm.
So that was worth it. So that was definitely a memory for the Heresy this year.
Is there a video of the ass waxing?
Yeah, there's a video of the arse waxing as well. You can find it on our Facebook page, and you can see the whole thing on there. Even the shout outs to everybody who paid for shout outs.
It's some real gonzo type stuff, Tim. You're gonna love it.
When it was happening, I watched like about fucking a minute of just the back being done, and I was like, "Oh, I can't take this." It's like fucking watching something being thought.
Trust me, it felt like it lasted way in my head. It lasted way longer than it actually did on camera. It just didn't want to end. I think I literally went through. I don't know, like shit. I went through like a quarter of a bottle of Jack Daniels in that period just to get through it. Totally worth it though. Totally worth it.
Anyone who did watch that whole thing, fucking, you are a genuine psycho. It's like watching a fucking ISIS decapitation video. I just can't watch it all the way through, man. It's like, can't do it.
But we'll use it as punishment at some point in the future for somebody who fails at something. We'll just force them to watch it. Now maybe that should be the new box of shame: is you got to watch like 30 seconds of this back waxing. You don't make it too much.
Like a Clockwork Orange type situation.
Yeah. So there's no, that was a fun one. But I have to say, genuinely, I didn't make it anywhere sort of massive traveling or anything this year for the Heresy. But having the guys for the Cult of Paint Over, getting to meet Andy and hang out with Andy Wardle, and again get to hang out with Henry, that was so much fun. And yeah, as always, like Scandus putting up a 38-foot long table or whatever it was with a giant wall and more Titans than I ever think I would ever see in my life in one location.
There will be more next year.
I know there's going to be more next year, which is even scarier. But yeah, just again, like you guys are saying, it's the events, it's the stuff that where you get to meet people and hang out and see people's armies and what they're doing, and traveling to like even just the local communities. Different events around here was such good fun, and seeing what's happened. Yeah, and now I've got a serious hard-on for militia for next year. So I have a militia army. Buddy. I have a militia army in like 3 shopping bags ready to be painted. So that's like January, all settled in. Just got to come up with a color scheme for the fuckers first.
So many people are saying that militia army starting like for some reason this year. I don't know why.
Because JP and I fucking led it, the Team Flak Jacket last year.
I do kind of want that. I do kind of want a Team Flak Jacket patch here somewhere at some point. I want that Team Flak Jacket patch, just to represent.
And again, like Freddie, you laugh, but we won 75% of our games. We did really well.
And when you say win, obviously. Maybe by 1 victory point, but
a win is a win, sir. A win is a win.
Well, it's because Freddy's a whack bag. JP's a slow player, so it's just like the ultimate combo. The ultimate winning combo.
Hurry up and wait play.
I think the other cool thing about militia armies, and you see so many people starting them, is just the variety. There's so many cool models out now that you can use. Like I picked up the Blackstone Fortress box set.
Oh yes,
and that's got some great looking militia.
The cultists in that set are incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're so cool.
Has anyone seen the fucking squats that Skibber does? Skibber miniatures.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Holy mother of God.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Can you put stuff in the chat? Yeah, you can. Oh, there you go. This shit. There you go. I put it in chat. Yeah. No, I have to say, like, even though it's been up and down, the pricing and everything happened, like, if I think about it, this year was even fucking bigger than last year because I went to Adepticon. I went to Australia. I got to see it in fucking Tim's chaos of a garage.
Yeah.
With your fucking, I don't know, spawn that refused to sleep.
Oh yeah. Because
I
my
don't know,
wife.
it refused to fucking. Anyway, you need to discipline your children.
Australian.
We'll talk about it.
I wasn't expecting to hear that.
Anyway, so it's like so much shit going on. Like all the events, we still did the D&D raffle. We still fucking hit the goal. We fucking overshot it. So much traveling going on. Like I think I went to all events except GothCon. No, yeah, GothCon. That was the only one I didn't go to this year.
No, you didn't come to.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was in the Middle
the
East.
one down south as well. You were in the Middle East then. Yeah, you were serving,
I wasn't playing war games. I was
living them.
I was doing what do you call it? Like live, whatever.
LARPing.
LARPing. I was LARPing.
Extreme LARPing.
Extreme LARPing. Taking that to
LARPing with a high
level.
percentage of death.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's good, Joey.
Where you have like one hit point, and that's it. And then you fuck.
Your one hit point.
And you definitely get the flak jacket save if you're lucky.
Yeah. It doesn't really work on a 7.62, but yeah. Oh. No. But yeah, still. So, okay, besides the Malmo one and GothCon, I think I did everything. And like we managed to do that painting course with Henry and the guys. That was fucking awesome. And Scandus was that wall. I don't know. I don't think that the photos gives it like it's enough to see it. You had to see it in the flesh. Imagine that. Everyone remember that black and white Blanchian artwork when there's this Imperial Guardsman standing outside of Hive City, and behind him is the Hive City wall. Can you picture it?
Yeah.
Yeah, JP can picture it. It was like that wall. And it was so fucking cool. Like we had proper doors and shit and defense turrets, and yeah, it looked so fucking cool. It was fucking madness. And people walked in and they were like, holy fuck, this is impressive. And I think like the whole setup with it with the wall, and then behind the wall, we had like the inside of the city. There was like we laid out even the venue. So it was like the wall, the inside of the city and shit. Yeah, no, it was super good, and everyone had a fucking blast, and we did all the Heresy beers and shit. Yeah, it was definitely like a super high point, and that's why I hope you guys, JP, aren't you going some fucking death metal thingy?
Yes. Oh, well, I think Pretty and I were talking about this, but Scandinavia Death Fest was just announced, and it's going to be the week after Scandus. And since I was already thinking about Scandus, and now that there's going to be a death metal festival in Stockholm a week after, might be a good time to visit Sweden.
Is it in Stockholm, the festival?
Yeah, I think it was, right?
Well, then you can stay at my place.
Yeah, you definitely need to come over.
No bands have been announced, but it's the guys that do Maryland Death Fest, and they just did Quebec Death Fest in Montreal a few months ago. These guys know how to organize a festival. Always like the real professionals. They get a lot of shit because they try to trademark the Death Fest term, and they sued, or they sent a cease and desist to New York Death Fest because they said like they own Death Fest. But anyways, they're professionals. They know how to put it on a fest, and Scandinavia Death Fest will probably be sick. Probably a lot of black metal.
Yeah, I would have interesting.
Probably.
It is
Well, you know,
Immortal on there for sure.
At least you guys drive on the right side of the street, though, so I can toss you my car and then off you go.
All right, boys, I just had a little one wake up.
Hey, what's up?
We got to go play hot potato and eat a snack.
Hey.
She's like, what is going
What
on?
did I say about discipline your children?
Yeah, she's going to discipline me here in a minute.
It's like JP, you know, you have to discipline him. He knows the rules. You get down, fucking enact discipline.
All right, you guys
Go to
be good.
ground, it's still discipline. That's
You
what
be
we
good,
win our
Jake.
award.
Peace, brother.
Jake.
Love you guys.
Bye, Jake.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
No, but seriously, yeah, if you're going for that Death Fest, just come over, stay at my place. I'll hook you up, and then do the whole fucking Scandus thing as well. It's like win-win.
I'm seriously thinking about it. Like I can I have to plan it out
though.
Like,
Like,
make sure I can have it
especially
off.
not
But
for,
fuck yeah,
for Chris, because you can fly out of Houston, right?
Yeah.
And they had direct flights from Houston to Stockholm.
Yeah, I'm just trying.
I'm
just trying to find cheap flights. That's the thing now.
Yeah.
So I've been looking pretty much once or twice a week. I've got that as one of my searches for flights, and trying to find
shouldn't be too bad either.
There aren't too many direct flights from Montreal, but like most of them go through London. But they're not too bad. Again, I'm thinking about it. I think it might be an interesting move. I'll go anyway. So,
and I'll pick you guys up and shit. So
nice.
It's basically the only thing you have to worry about is the flights and maybe some spending money on alcohol.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Which is, you're in Sweden, so the alcohol is going to be more expensive than the flight, but.
And not open on Sundays. Ridiculous.
What? And it's open. Oh yeah, the alcohol store is.
Well, you can't buy alcohol on Sundays, can you?
No.
What? Why not?
Socialism, man.
You can only buy beer.
That sounds like some weird Protestant shit to me.
You can only buy beer and wine on Sundays in Texas. You can't buy hard liquor.
True.
What?
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I know. Texas has some of the weirdest liquor laws in the United States.
But what we'll do though, guys, if you come over and you will stay the week, I'll take some days off and we'll go on a booze cruise and hook up some tax-free alcohol.
Ooh.
Just hook up before Lincoln. No, I mean before Scandus. And then because I still need to restock the fucking alcohol supply for Scandus. We'll do that before Scandus when we'll have enough for Scandus and for us for like weeks. Because we can take like 4 or 8 slabs each. And they're like $10 a slab. If we do it tax-free.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
What's a slab? Is that a 2-4? Is that what you call a 2-4?
24 cans.
It's a case.
Okay, we call it a 2-4 in Canada. A slab. I like that. All right.
So, yeah, we'll sort it out. Should be all right. As long as you get the flights, the rest I'll sort out.
I love it. I love it.
She'll be right, mate.
She'll be all right, mate. That goes for you, Tim, you fucking mongrel. Apparently, I'm celebrating Christmas and New Year's in Australia next year, so.
Oh, really? Oh,
Brucey.
Sweet. Yeah.
You know, oddly enough, I've gotten in my searches for flights, I've got these alerts set up. The last 2 weeks, I've gotten cheaper flights to Sydney show up than to Stockholm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found flights. I was telling Freddie the other day, I found flights from Brisbane, where I am, to Stockholm and return from here for $1,075. And I'm like, fuck, that's so cheap. But then the only catch is the flight there is 38 hours and the flight back is 40 hours round trip.
Yeah.
It's like you,
we found for return flights for like for the entire family, I think it's like 14,000 kroners. That would be, what would that be? Half of that divided by 5.
Yeah.
So like $3,000.
Yeah.
That wasn't too bad. That was like 26 hours.
And that's for the whole family? That's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Oh man,
but
like imagine
you need to book them early though. Like
imagine taking your kids on a 38-hour fucking several.
Well, they used it. Remember when we used to live in fucking Australia? That's what they did.
Just gas them out. Just dope them up and gas them out.
Yeah. Well, they're big now. Shit, you just give them a fucking Fortnite on an iPad and they're done.
Oh yeah, and I'm thinking about like 3-year-olds and shit. That'd just be a fucking insane nightmare.
Yeah, no, that's the worst. Like when they're younger, it's better because then they sleep most of the time. But then,
when you got to change their nappies and shit, or if they're like young, if they're like fucking 1.5 or some shit, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know, but still, it's pretty alright though. Like $1,000, that's not too bad. Like if you go yourself, you don't care if it takes 38 hours. You just watch all the movies.
Yeah, I wouldn't give a fuck
for free.
probably wouldn't bring my own army there. I'd have to use one of your armies because, like, fuck.
I have a few armies you could use.
Yeah, that's it. That's the ultimate way. It's like altered carbon style instead of just like rebuilding my body and getting my consciousness injected into it. And just...
Well, if you come for Lincoln, you only need 1500 Centurion.
Oh, boom! Yeah.
When's Lincoln ready? Because I've got to get an event in Sweden done before October.
Lincoln is the 1st and 2nd of June.
Oh,
That's a possible for me.
I can actually look because I have all the event packs open here. GothCon is 20 and 21st of April. So during Easter. Lincoln is 1st.
Barcelona then.
Raltech is 10th and 11th of August. Cult of Paint is the 30th of August to the 1st of September. Candace is 5th and 6th of October.
Okay.
That's all the
I should
events.
work on that. Cool.
Well, you know, Max, you stayed at Magnus' place. I have to one-up Magnus. Let you come to my place.
Magnus has a nice place as well.
You should see Freddie's new place.
You should see my place.
Jesus.
I'm intrigued by your steam room, Freddie.
Oh, yeah. We have to go for sauna and then in the pool.
Yeah.
Heresy in the pool.
Doable.
Heresy in the sauna, man. Like if you took your wet palette in there, it'd probably never go fucking dry. You wouldn't even need a wet palette. It'd be so moist. Your paint would just never fucking set.
I find that this holiday special has descended to our plans for the next year.
It's just Freddie talking about his house.
Literally getting into like very detailed plans for what we're doing next year.
I don't know, but I have to say though that okay, I don't know about you guys, but this year was weird for me because personally, when playing events and doing shit and painting my miniatures and going to like all kinds of stuff and talking to my mates, it was super positive and it was super fun. But then there was like this massive cloud hanging on top with like the death of Heresy. We had fucking price increase. We had all these other things, but that never ever kind of, cheers, mate. That never ever kind of affected events, but it was like this overarching shadow of foreboding. Kind of. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why you need to just ignore the internet, man.
It was
it's not
like
real.
this weird fucking feeling that everything was going to shit, but everywhere I went to events or I went to do stuff or I talked to my mates and we talked Heresy, it was like super positive. But as like the whole entire community kind of imploded somehow.
But that's non-face-to-face interaction. It's not realistic.
Yeah, no, but I remember the year before that, like all the way leading up to the Weekender and roughly up to Adepticon, the entire community was like super, super soaked and super positive. And then it just became this sort of like 1939 fucking we won't have peace in our time sort of shit.
Yeah, but are you sure it's not just some phenomenon like where your community reaches a certain size, which is a good thing? But then when it reaches a certain size...
I don't think that's what happened. Over the last 2 years, there's been a fundamental shift. Up until 2 years ago, especially with the release of the two plastic box games, I think Heresy was in an ascended curve. So what ended up happening is that there's a lot of 40K players that were sick of 40K and wind up jumping on board Heresy, not because they love the background, not because they love the things that we love. They probably didn't, they definitely liked it and everything like that, but they didn't get into 30K for the reasons that weren't necessarily in 30K for narrative gaming, for, fully painted fucking armies and shit like that. They were getting on board because they didn't like what was happening in 40K. They didn't like what was happening with, competitive 7th edition, all that stuff. And then when 8th edition came out, what wound up happening is what I think what happening is these people went back into 40K. So that gave you the impression that the 30K community was falling apart, where in truth it was going back to sort of the norm and back into the niche of a niche which is I think what 30K is. So all of these, perhaps non-dedicated 40K players joined up around the time that Calth and Prospero came out, and then dropped out again, and it made it look like people were fucking abandoning the heresy. I don't think that's what happened. I think that this is it's never going to be a mass game. It's always going to be a niche within a niche, but it's a very dedicated niche. And I think we're going back into that. And I think that Games Workshop's relationship with the heresies reflected the fact that their money maker is always going to be 40K and fantasy and some other specialist games. I mean, I think we thought that Heresy was going to be the third big game, but really it's just it's Necromunda. It's a specialist game. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think it's just all the stars aligned in sort of way. Like Alan passed away.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's huge. Happened. And
book 7 was a fucking disaster. Everybody hated it.
Book 7 happened, and then 8th Ed happened, and it was like, and then Forge World Fridays kind of after the Weekender, Forge World Friday kind of disappeared for a while. It's back up again, which is good, but it was like a massive vacuum for like 8 months of Forge World Fridays.
Yeah,
and we're kind of like we kind of came on this fucking high. And everything was fucking dandy, and it was just rolling on. And then they decided, like, they actually said, we're going to keep 7th Ed. We're going to release this rule book, and everyone was just going on to that. And then it just fucking crashed and burned because of weird decisions and bad information, I guess. Well,
it's mainly because, like, most of the Forge World dudes, instead of working in Heresy, were doing Titanicus, Necromunda, and whatever. And then
what I think is the problem with all these weird people that went from 40K to Heresy and then back again, and the community kind of imploded, and everyone was kind of on a high and super positive, and then 8th Ed happened. It was so many things that happened, and then also the thing it was really poorly handled by Forge World communication wise, because they could just say straight up, "Oh fuck, this is what's going on." They play their cards. You show their cards. Same with that fucking what was it, like the extra weapon sprues for the Adeptus Titanicus. They're gonna say, "Oh fuck, we fucked that up. I'm so sorry. Of course we're gonna release them later on. We fucked it up. We promised it, and we're gonna fall through to it." Everyone will respect that. Or if they like with the fucking live out, if they had some
it might be business suicide. If like Warlord Games finds out that they're like going to be lagging with Heresy, then they might be like, okay, we need to do a Gates of Antares, but set 10,000 years before, and then we'll call it like the Heresy of Antares.
No, I don't think that. I think so many of these things that has blown out of proportions could have been handled by just an easy communication from Games Workshop or Forge World. Because normally in the end when we get the fucking answers, what? Yeah, I know that, but that's no excuse though, because I used to fucking work in marketing.
No. So, I know, but
still, like it's so easy because in the end, after the entire fucking drama online, and they tell, well, this is what happened, X, Y, and Z, and I was like, oh, that's a fine answer, but it's too late and too little, and they can just preempt that shit like so easily. It's not fucking rocket science.
But they readjusted. They made some mistakes in the past, like the past couple months, but they readjusted, and I think that's incredible because we didn't see this a few years ago. For example, like, okay, you mentioned the Warlord weapon sprue. Yes, they mentioned that we should be getting a Warlord weapon sprue. Then they said they weren't going to do it, and then they seem to have changed their mind. Either that, or there was a miscommunication at the very beginning of whether or not they would do it in the first place. But yeah, there was an uproar. They said they're going to do the Warlord's weapon sprue, which is going to come out. The Weekender is the best example because the Weekender was supposed to be the Specialist Games Weekender. It was supposed to be all the fucking games. And then there was a big furor. There was a big uproar in the community saying that like that's not what we want. And they literally changed their marquee event because of feedback from the community. I think there's some. I don't want to be like overly positive here.
Did you see any of that backlash? I this is like keep an eye on Necromunda and Forge World and shit. I didn't see anyone. I didn't see any like giant threads or people fucking raising banners about like, oh, can't have fucking under there.
I think it's
There was
we had this debate on our end of the year podcast episode, and I think it is. They realized that it's kind of because of everything that's happened this year with Alan's passing and all those stuff that's led up to this point, because they went on a high and now it's gone down a bit low, and it's been a big backlash on whatever the fucking online community. I think they realized that this open day for the Horus Heresy Weekender, it is make or break kind of thing. Like, where the fuck is the Heresy going? Because everyone's wondering what is going on now with specialist games taking so many resources. Where I haven't seen so many stuff drop compared to before, because we've been spoiled in the past, I guess. But now we haven't seen jack shit. So they think that fuck, if we need to refocus on the Heresy and try and get back our customer base for it. So they know it's. And everything they can do is on the Weekender, and it's super focused. So they realize that, okay, we need to focus it back on the Weekender, because some of the feedback, actually the feedback wasn't now, it was on the previous Weekender. Most of the feedback, because we had to fill out a form when we were there. Like, what do you think? What did you think about the Weekender? And then most of the people said, like, and even when they had the seminar, they said like, oh, well, we realized that like Necromunda wasn't that popular for people to come on the Heresy Weekender, because everyone's interested in the Heresy, and it is a Heresy Weekender. That's what people thought they bought for it. And I think it's kind of we're threading the needle now. Like, we're reaching the point where they have to define where is Heresy going, who is working on what, and what the fuck is going to happen. And they're going to have Angelus or the fucking Blood Angel book shit, and they need to kind of set the tone for the future. And they have been kind of confused after Alan passed away. No one is really holding the leadership torch. It's kind of
it's not someone you can replace, right? I know, that's the problem.
But that's the thing, is they need, what they need to do is nominate a leader and kind of focus on, okay, where are we going from here? What's the next focus? What are we going to do?
Yeah, I think Freddie, that last piece hits the nail on the head. I think Forge World has been a little bit rudderless with Heresy over the last 9 months, 8 months, whatever. They have, to JP's point, they've readjusted when they've screwed something up. They try to readjust, but it really comes down to there's not a strong leader in place. And it doesn't have to be a guy that like, hey, I know all the lore and all this, but a guy that can pull the team together and say, okay, we have this team of people that's going to work on this product line. This is how we're going to line it out so we can communicate, because Games Workshop has kind of turned the corner from what they were when I started playing, which was we never communicate.
That's not true. Not in the 80s.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't playing in the 80s. I was playing D&D in the 80s. I wasn't playing Games Workshop. When I started playing Games Workshop in 4th edition, you was just kind of like, it's a guessing game. You're going to hear about it the week before it comes out. For the most part. So I think that
I think one of the major issues, sorry for cutting you off, Chris, but I think one of the major is they had the plan for specialist games all along, but they were going to have Alan to do the Heresy. He passed. They still have people committed for specialist games because that was a business decision by Games Workshop. But they have a fucking vacuum or a void in the Heresy thing, and now eventually that's going to catch up, and that's what happened.
But we can't forget how little staff Forge. Okay, Games Workshop in our world, like Games Workshop seems like a behemoth, right? In our hobby, it really is. But you have to understand that it's not a big company in the grand scheme of things. I mean, Forge World as a unit within Games Workshop, I mean, literally they don't have enough office space for fucking Forge World. There's like, they have one room in Games Workshop. It's not big. There's not a lot of people working for that. So when you give them all these extra duties, and I think Freddie's 100% right, when you give them all these extra duties, like taking care of specialist games, you are going to have a situation where things get neglected, and I think it's understandable. I mean, they're understaffed, and I think they understand that. And they're trying to hire, but like one thing that we learned recently, is they did a live stream recently, like a holiday live stream, and what we learned is that they want to hire someone to help them out in Forge World, but they don't have a desk for them. So it's like this isn't a big company. We keep thinking it is, but like, you know, relatively it is in our hobby. But for the most part, I mean, this is still a fairly moderate-sized organization, and what we're passionate about is a tiny part of a moderate-sized organization. So I don't want to like, you know, make the case for that everything they do is right because it's a moderately sized organization. What I'm saying is that I think, considering how much we love this stuff, I think, you know, a little bit we can give them a little bit of patience. But Freddie's right. Like, this is a make or break fucking weekender. They really need to fucking show the community that they give a fuck. And I think they will. I really am optimistic about this.
Well, you're gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. We're gonna hug.
Yeah, we'll fucking tell them straight up. You fucking
We're gonna do John French. You can make a fool of yourself for him as well.
Oh, fuck up Sanguinius.
It's like a live stream for you to kind of alienate all the Black Library authors, isn't it?
Absolutely. No, I'm gonna live my nerd dream and get pinned at Bugman's.
That's true. I can do that.
Yeah, I've been barred from Bugman's before. It's a good time.
I want to get physically thrown out of Bugman's, and then that'll be my like nerd dream and shit.
We'll have to go to the museum. We have to go to the museum and fucking sabotage all the Primaris Marines.
But no, honestly, I just want to say, because we've been talking about, we deviated into a million different directions, as I knew we would because we're all friends. But Pretty, your main question was like what was the main heresy thing? Like what came out of 2018? And I think that I think we were overly concentrated on or fixated on a very I think tight focus on what heresy is. Mm-hmm. Heresy isn't just 30K, the big black books that we love so much. Heresy is bigger than that. It's all those Black Library novels, which kept going very well, and now we actually see like an end game in sight, and they have actually planned for it. Like the last Heresy novel is coming out soon. It's gonna be the Hidden Blade. It's gonna be finally about what happens to the Death Guard when they get like becalmed in the warp. That's gonna be fucking amazing. I mean, Titan Death. I haven't read it yet, but apparently it's fucking sick. And building on that, Adeptus Titanicus.
Oh yeah.
Like Adeptus Titanicus was a shot in the arm for the Heresy community because it is a Heresy game. They could have made a 40K version of it, but they didn't. And I think that demonstrates a lot. And Adeptus Titanicus was not only well received, it's been a fucking smash hit. The game is incredible as well. And I mean, I think that if we broaden our understanding and broaden what we understand Heresy to be, I think we can conclude that 2018 was a great year for Heresy. There was its bomb, there was its bumps. But I think this is a good year for the hobby as like a holistic whole, if you will. I'm very optimistic about 30K.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think the Adeptus Titanicus comment is spot on. That was, when you talk about product release, that was one of the huge things for me. Getting the Grandmaster box, and then the Reavers and the Warhounds that have come out. Just amazing models. I haven't played the game yet, but the gameplay looks like it plays really well. Talking to people that played, yeah, they enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to playing some games with Adepticon with the 18 crowd. So yeah, and I definitely think them putting that in the Heresy does say something positive about where they see the Heresy game going. You know, if they didn't see it going very far, would they have set this game there? Probably not. Max is going to share his lunch with us.
Freddy is addressing. Is it fish and chips?
No, it is a massive pork pie.
Oh.
But how very northern of you, Max.
Well, it was from the bakery that got voted the best pie in the north. So
it was from the bin outside his fucking house.
You know what, Freddie? It's always insults with you. Why can't you just be nice?
Oh, no.
I know what you're saying that.
With that dress mate. With
The
that
day
dress.
that happened, the day Heresy
Oh, it's
freezes.
verbal abuse.
Yeah. Fucking hell. I'm
Trying
gone.
to have a podcast with him.
And, hey, JP, I stand with Ukraine.
What? What's so fucking random? So fucking random.
But,
So, what do you reckon about Battlefleet Heresy or whatever they're talking about?
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking Star Death or whatever it's called.
Do you think that'll fucking dilute like the player base more, or do you think do you think it'll be too soon? Like, there's so much shit out there already. Necromunda, this, that,
It's
30K.
not. Yeah.
I don't think they have
there's
the
been
resources to do it.
Yeah, exactly. There's been some news about the next Battlefield Gothic game, and it's not great. What's happening right now is that it's been. They're thinking about it. They're talking about it. They do not have, like Freddie said, they don't have the resources to do it, and it's not coming out anytime soon. I'd like to think that the subtext is that the game itself isn't broken. Battlefield Gothic is unique amongst all the specialist games in that it got a rules update in 2010. They never released it, but it got out. So it's not as it's not as urgent for them to do it, but there's definitely interest. It's just I think that the last words out of Forge World Specialist Games, Forge World, was that as much as they want to do it. And shout out to Darren, by the way, who pays attention to this stuff and comes on the show to as a roving reporter. The thing is, they want to do it, but they want to make sure that it's done properly, done in the same way that they did, for example, Titanicus. Like really, like do it well, and they don't feel they can do it well right now. So we're not seeing Battlefield Gothic anytime soon. It makes me very sad, but again, the game right now, as it stands, is very playable.
And you
in
can
the way
get
that maybe
models
Epic
on
was.
eBay, easy. Like, I've
Yeah,
just bought a
exactly. The
fleet
models
this year.
look good too.
It can't be too bad, right? Yeah, you
But
just
there's no scale to them. So if you buy models now, then new models come out at a slightly different scale. Say they move it like up a quarter, it doesn't invalidate the models because they're all out of scale. It's the base it's the stick that matters.
If you play Battlefield Gothic, you always measure from the stem of your ship because that's supposed to represent where the ship is. Because the scale is like the engagement is so huge. Like you shouldn't even be able to see, if you stare at the window, you shouldn't be able to see the enemy ship in this universe. So I mean, it's a very representative scale as opposed to what we're usually used to with games like 30K and Titanicus, whereas you actually look at the model and that's what the model looks like. Battlefield Gothic is more representative. So again, Max is totally right.
They want to make it look like Star Wars, right? Like,
but there's no reason. Star Wars makes no sense. There's no reason a ship should ever get into like even visual range.
Yeah, because their lasers go like a couple 100 meters.
My favorite, for example, what is it? I think it's in Vengeful Spirit when they launch their torpedoes and they wait like for a day for them to hit. I mean, that's the kind of ranges, that's the kind of engagements you expect in the 41st, in either the 41st or 31st millenniums, right? We're talking about like crazy fucking engagement ranges where like you're planning your strategy like a day or two in advance as things are moving into position. It's a different kind of. And I think that's why
there is sometimes where they just send their whole fleet down and they fly into the planet and just shoot at like close range from low orbit. Like the Sons of Horus do that. In the
There's that great space battle in Betrayer there. Prevent bombardment. Latara prevent bombardment.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's like my favorite space battle in Betrayer.
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying no BFG? Okay, interesting. So that's not. I guess.
No. I'm not saying no BFG. I'm saying not anytime soon. That's coming out of Forge right now. Could it?
Well, that makes sense.
Could I be wrong? Probably, but it's just like they don't have the resources to do it. They don't have the resources to do what they're doing right now. The specialist games have been smash hits. It's surprising. A Blood Bowl, we all knew it was going to be. Necromunda, I think, took them a little bit by surprise how popular Necromunda's been. Like, and Tim, you guys are doing such a fucking awesome job of fucking supporting it too. But like Titanicus, No one thought they'd sell out of Titanicus. They made 20,000 Grandmaster editions sold out in an hour or two. Like, no one thought Titanicus would be that popular.
Well, that's why they're gonna do fucking the thing again, the Grandmaster.
Well, they made a kit that's similar.
Aren't
They're
they
not
gonna
gonna
do
make
a
another-
Grandmaster? Aren't they gonna do another Grandmaster release at fucking next year in the spring?
I hadn't heard about that. I know they've got the Maniple thing that just came out. That's got pretty much the Maniple in a box. Which
Well, it's got a Warlord, a Reaver, and 2 Warhounds. So you can run, I think, Venator. You can run the Venator Maniple with the extra Warlord, right? Or is it
You can
Myrmidon?
run. You can run the. I think it's the Axiom. With that's
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
the
yeah.
base. Yeah.
I just want to say, Chris, this is dead. Right? This
It's
bottle
gone.
of whiskey.
Oh.
This bottle
Look
of
at
whiskey is dead. This
Ready
is
to-
dead.
As dead as Heresy, or
It is deader than Heresy.
The funny thing is, I've got to say this. While Freddie is finding a refill, I'm genuinely surprised that they were surprised that they sold out of Grandmaster editions. I mean, I'm seriously surprised. After everything that went out through Necromunda, for everything, all the stuff they've released, how can they not see? And even just understanding the age range of the fan base, 20,000 copies around the world is nothing. How could they be surprised? It surprises me that they were surprised at that. It feels like they just went, we're going to do it. Almost feels like a stupid shot in the dark of, we're going to produce this because we think we might, or we have no idea. We're going to be surprised if we sell it. Why be surprised?
Copies, man. They send
I
out
think
like
they knew it was going to be successful, but they didn't know it was going to be this successful. And I think that goes for all the specialist games, with the possible exception of Blood Bowl, which everybody knew.
For every single fucking specialist games, they've been surprised. Like, seriously, Blood Bowl. I have, for my entire time when I lived in Australia, Tim, since they cancelled specialist games, I remember that day in Australia. Rest in peace. But we have always played Blood Bowl. And in Sweden, the first thing I rocked up in Sweden when I tried to organize a Flames of War tournament, I did that through a Blood Bowl community to get a fucking venue. So Blood Bowl has always been fucking massive. No one cared they canceled it. But it's always been massive. But Games Workshop is never going to make any money because you buy your team and then that's it. You're done.
I guess I'm just surprised at why they're so surprised.
Yeah, I know, because it's
like every time something. No, it's just my reaction to it. Every time it comes out, it just feels like we're really surprised this happened. Again, did you not learn?
I reckon
never
hire me to the marketing team.
There's the reason they canceled them in the first place. And shit. They never really. I think Games Workshop at the end of the day always believe that their bread and butter is always going to be fantasy and 40K, especially 40K, and especially like Space Marines.
Fucking
amount like half of their revenue. But yeah, they always like misunderstand. I think they underestimate just how much people love the specialist games. So I don't know why they're always surprised, and honestly, a lot of people, and you say that in hindsight. I think that like Titanicus, for example, that people are surprised, or that Games Workshop surprised was so successful. I remember before Titanicus came out, and I was super excited about it, but like I remember a lot of negativity in the community about the price, for example, of the Grandmaster box. That was like a $300 fucking box. And people lost their minds, and a lot of people was like, they're setting up to fail. They're setting it up to fail. It's going to be a bomb. Like, who the fuck is going to buy this? Again, I don't think it's just Games Workshop that underestimates just how popular this stuff is. I really think that some of the community underestimates how popular this stuff is, especially when you get fixated on cost. And frankly,
I think it could be.
that $300 box, you have everything you need to play, and that's a good fucking value.
Yeah, they sent out a lot of copies to people on YouTube, like all these YouTube channels. Like seems like way more than with Necromunda. So I wouldn't be surprised if they got a lot more traction with their online sort of sales techniques, because there was so many YouTube channels were doing like seemed to have got a copy and were doing reviews of it. Just seemed like way more.
Not we didn't get any.
Oh yeah, well, for some reason podcasts just like I don't know, they don't support them unless you're an Age of Sigmar podcast, in which case you get tons of support. If you're Heresy podcast,
pretty.
Yeah.
Is your dog throwing up or humping something in the background?
No, he's got a Himalayan bone.
Okay.
It's on crack, so it gets all of his excess energy out. And
Himalayan bone.
Himalayan bone, yes.
It's from the Himalayas.
It's made from Himalayans, yes. No, it's some sort of yak, something or another.
Is it like a dead climber, and they grab the bone out of it and?
It's like a yellowish brown bone that's about this long, and
climber. Yes.
There was just all I could say is there's just lots of heavy breathing, rhythmical motion, and then I looked at Freddie. It wasn't him, so I checked the background, and then I saw it was your dog. So I thought I'd ask.
You can't say it like I'm looking at Max's dress, and I can't help myself.
Yeah, that's true, and funny you do talk about like value for money and stuff when we're talking about like the Grandmaster and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just surprised. I mean, what is it? They released they talk about releasing, what was it, the Warlord Titan. They did 20 or 30 of them or whatever it was at the first event they were released at. They sold all of them on the day over the counter.
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels like to me somebody somewhere is missing the fact that that this community will buy what they put out because we want it. And it just feels like they just constantly get slapped in the face with "I'm surprised" kind of thing. I don't know. It's just I hear it I just hear it all the time, and it's just like, at what point do you stop being surprised and go, "Yeah, we knew we were going to do this well, so we did it well."
Yeah,
you know.
I think they did do it well.
Easy to say they're surprised.
Sold out. I don't remember.
Oh, I thought somebody named Amy was joining. I was like, who did I send this to?
God damn it! I thought
George's wife is here.
Georgie!
What's up, George?
You hear me okay?
Yep. You're spot on.
All right, man.
Yeah, by accident. I thought I switched it, but fucking.
So we're actually.
I just want to see Max naked.
Is this where I get naked for you, Freddie?
Yeah, no.
God, no.
Whatever it takes to get you out of that dress.
Oh no, I'm having Scandus flashbacks. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. I can't handle that. It took me 6 weeks.
You did handle it. You did handle it, Jody.
Yeah, well, now you're upgraded to fucking naked Danes.
Oh God, yeah.
So now
that wasn't an upgrade.
Now that we're talking about naked Englishmen and naked Danes, let's kind of kick this ball back over to Freddie.
Yes.
Freddie wanted to talk a little bit about the DMD raffle, and that's going to kind of take us to our close here. So I'm going to bat it over to you, Freddie.
Right. No worries, mate. Thank you for the Passover. What happened? If everyone remembers back to the good old 7th of October, I think it was.
8th. That weekend.
That weekend. I don't know. Very sketchy. We did a draw for the raffle, and unfortunately, one of the people that won a Reaver kind of didn't want a Reaver, so we have to do a redraw. Yay! Well, it should be exciting for everyone because whoever bought a ticket for the raffle, they have a chance to do a redraw for a fucking Reaver Titan.
Damn it!
I now have the entire list.
They already have some Reavers, do they?
Apparently so.
Yeah.
So now I have the entire. Oh,
I'm going to present you, Freddie. Hang on.
I can't fucking see it. Can you see it?
It's like a bright light. Can't see details.
I obviously can't see it. But I have the fucking list of everyone that has donated to raffle again. So I'm going to ask fucking Chris, being a super generous person, to get a random number generator between 1 and.
Hang on, let me Google.
Just get him to choose a random number.
You don't have any fucking dice around? It seems like it's
I'm sorry, I don't have a 1 to D277.
Is that what it is? 277.
Yeah.
Well, D1000.
Yeah.
Just get 3D10s.
Freddie.
Get 3D10s and roll a D1000.
Can you see that face? That face isn't calculating the D1000 anytime soon.
Go to ground and fucking enact discipline. That's your job.
Roll a D1000. Anything over 277 reroll. That's easy.
All right. So you want to do dice or you want to do the number generator? What are we doing here?
Oh, just do a random number generator of your computer.
All right.
Oh,
So
Give me a number.
277. Is that the high number?
Yep.
All right.
So between 0 and 277. I do a random.
All right. I'm going to put the camera on me.
Is it too late to buy a ticket?
Well, yes.
Damn. I painted them. I was kind of hoping going to win them.
All right. So, this is washing it out also. There we go.
God damn. You take it so long.
All right. Generate number 260. 260.
So 260?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Let's go. Let's hope this is the person that wants to have a Titan. 260.
If not, I'm claiming it.
I'm scrolling down.
Oh, let me put it back on Freddie.
Oh my fucking god. Okay.
Who is it? Who is it?
It's Johnny Riese.
Johnny won it.
Johnny Riese. Alright. How do I fucking take it?
Go, Johnny.
Wait, I'm gonna take a photo. Johnny Riese is in Thailand playing Necromunda. And he's an asshole.
Well, there you go.
Well, no more deserving person.
He is a good guy. He is a very good guy.
Is that what people go to Thailand nowadays for? Is to play Necromunda?
I thought they went for something else.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Right.
I found a heresy bro in Thailand.
Nice. Fact.
Reaver Titan.
Freddie, your screen has gone dark.
Oh, sorry, man. I was trying to. It's two computers working in. Johnny Riese has won a Reaver Titan.
Woo! All right, congratulations.
And he's in fucking Thailand. He's an asshole piece of shit.
I say he has to survive a tasing first.
Exactly.
From one of these, George?
We need to.
I'm never coming to your house again. You're shit.
Awesome.
All right, thank you, Chris, for your random number generating thing.
Anytime, sir.
Is that guy
Google's my friend?
Is that guy in Sweden? Is he in your area usually?
He is in Sweden somewhere.
He's one of our regular gaming players. He's one of our regular group of Heresy players.
Oh, nice.
So shipping should be easy then.
So another Titan for
Well, not to
Scandus.
fucking Thailand, would it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's another Scandus Titan for you. Shit.
Yeah.
God. Fucking Thailand.
So do you reckon with Titanicus, like people are going to start playing that instead of Giant Titan games? Or you guys still, because Sweden seems to be like pioneering the Giant Titan game, right? And Adepticon. That's still going to happen, you reckon?
Oh, we're gonna totally keep the 28 mil going. We're going to be doing it again at Scandus next year. We're doing it at Lincoln as well. So, we're doing both at Lincoln. We're doing Adeptus Titanicus and 28 mil. So bring what you've got, kind of thing. So,
well, you guys should obviously play Titanicus in 28 mil scale then.
Mm-hmm. We should just bridge the gap.
Surely,
Yeah.
28 mil Titanicus.
By 20-foot table.
They did that at Warhammer at the Weekender, and they did it again at Adepticon. I think the last 2 years of Adepticon, I never played it, but they were doing it in the lobby just outside the Heresy room. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not making
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it at the Weekender when I was there. But
They did it at Adepticon. I remember them setting it up and shit, and then I was drunk and wasn't paying attention.
It's totally
That was
it's
just a
such a good event. It's such fun to do it. Really is.
So let's go. We're getting close to time, so let's just do a quick. Oh, what? Go ahead, Freddie.
Oh, sorry. Well, they played the whole Titanicus thingy on the outside the fucking main entrance hall, but that wasn't real. Like we did it for real.
All right. So let's go round table real quick. Name one thing you're looking forward to in 2019 and the Heresy. We're gonna start with George since he was working and unable to be here for most of this.
Yes.
More Heresy. Book 8 sounds like it's going to be pretty sweet. Getting drunk. Yeah.
Somebody mute Freddie.
Order Titan made out of vodka.
I would like a Warhammer made out of bourbon.
Oh yes, first bump through the internet on that one.
There you go.
Thank you.
Just more Heresy. Seriously, I mean, 2018 was a great year for Heresy. I mean, despite a lot of nerd rage on the internet, but like I was talking about last week, it's my personal best year for Heresy. So I'm looking forward to 19 topping it. Awesome models, some awesome games, and getting to meet some more Heresy fam and make some more Heresy Eskimo brothers.
There you go. Awesome. Freddie, 2019.
It's gonna be fucking awesome. If I get to the Weekender, it's gonna be a fucking smash because I get to be with my bros, fucking bros, and we're gonna get smashes, bogums, and I'm gonna get to see Max because I miss you, mate. Even though I give you a lot of shit, I miss
you too, Freddie. No, it wouldn't be you without the shit. If I didn't get shit off you, I wouldn't know you love me.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It's like rough love is the only love.
Only.
And Phil, we're not going to talk about because he's an apologetic fucking AIDS of fucking shitmar person. But yeah, no, it's going to be good. Like, I think that everyone's kind of panicking, but it's going to be good. It's going to be fucking good. I'm going to hang out with Tim for Christmas and New Year's. We're going to play fucking Heresy. I'm going to make sure that fucking JP and Chris, because you were supposed to be here for this year, Chris.
Didn't make it. You're right.
As you fucking dog lover piece of shit. Yeah. So you're gonna be here for next year. My camera has died because I did this. But anyway, yeah. So hopefully I'm gonna get all these guys over for Sweden. For SwedenCon, and we're gonna have fun.
Awesome.
That's it. Even Max and his mankini or whatever the fuck he's wearing.
Tim, what about you?
There you go, Freddie.
Fucking Book 8, man. Book 8.
Nice.
And also Titanicus expansion, like it's with the campaign and all that sort of shit, right? Like I think the Weekender is gonna be fucking rad. And you know, I'm in the middle of trying to organize like monthly sort of like a monthly campaign down at the Magic Vault. We've been playing sort of just games every now and then, ad hoc sort of thing. But I want to like set in, you know, like first Thursday of every month, like come play games and they contribute towards a campaign sort of at the local store. So I think that's like something I'm working on just to get, you know, grassroots Heresy, man, get some shit going in my local area. But yeah, just Book 8. I think like there's going to be some good shit in the next book. And, you know, can't wait to sit on my couch and read it, man.
Nice. Jody?
Oh, me. What am I looking forward to next year? Seeing you guys when you come over and seeing you at Scandus and seeing Ryan, who's coming over for Lincoln, I think.
I think I saw that.
He's coming over to Lincoln, so that's going to be absolutely awesome. And yeah, I think just painting for myself and getting my militia army up and running. That's what I'm looking forward to because you guys have covered all the fun stuff. Book 8's just going to shift the meta and it's going to be awesome. So can't wait to see that happen.
Sweet. JP.
Sweet. What I'm looking forward to, I think 2019 is going to be a great year. People have mentioned Book 8. That's obvious. But let's not forget also that The Hidden Blade is going to come out soon. So like the last book of the main Horus Heresy series from Black Library, and also the first book of the Siege of Terra. I think it's called the Solar War. It's going to be coming out, I think, in March or April. So we're actually, for those that are really into the narrative and the background, I mean, this is fucking really exciting. And this is going to be fantastic for the year for the Heresy. And more than anything, I just look forward to going to a few events. I mean, I'm excited to go to the Weekender and fucking hanging out with this amazing community, because that's what the Heresy is all about. It's about like this community that we've created. And no matter how much we might think that we could have like a down year or something like that, or a year that has certain frustrations in it, and I'm not going to deny that, but I think we've weathered it as a community incredibly well. I love all you fuckers, everybody watching as well. You guys are fucking awesome. and I look forward to like 2019 being a fucking great year.
Awesome.
Amen.
Max.
Do you know what I'm looking forward to? Like, as everyone said, Heresy's the community. It's not individual events. It's not, or to me, it's not the Weekender. Like, I've chosen not to go this year. Like, it's just meeting people, cool dudes to play events with, and it don't really matter. Fuck what's going on at Forge World. If you get what you project, I'm just happy to go and see everyone, and it's going to be an awesome year regardless of what happens. I had an awesome year this year. It doesn't matter anything else.
Yeah. In that dress, mate. Of course you did.
Of course, in my fabulous dress.
I mean, all great. You guys have already pointed out a lot of great stuff. Book 8, obviously. I'm really looking forward to the Hidden Blade and the Solar War. What's going to happen with the novel series? Adepticon, huge on my list. I am going to get signed up to do Cult of Paint in Houston at the end of April, or it's in April. Nice. So I unfortunately had to work through most of Heresy Camp. So other than meeting Henry, I did not get to take the class, which bummed me out greatly. So I'm going to go spend a couple of days and do that, since it's just going to be 2 hours down the road from me in the spring. So looking forward to stepping up my paint game big time. Really, I think Max, what everybody said, I look forward to just seeing everybody, getting out and seeing these great friends that I made. I know I won't see some of you guys this year, or at least early in the year. Hopefully I can make it out to Scandus and see those that are not coming to North America for Adepticon. But really, it's the people. It's just hanging out, shooting the shit, drinking booze. The game is fun. I love Heresy, but it's just the people involved with it that I'm looking forward to in 2019, and meeting more new folks. So that's kind of my thing. Oh, one last thing, Titan Death. So I'm looking forward to the campaign for Adeptus Titanicus.
And, Peter Garmin, that's gonna be fucking sick.
Yeah, that's gonna be so badass.
I need to get my Grandmaster edition purchased.
Systems of Sound effects, man. That's gonna be this year, I'm sure. I'm sure of it.
Give us some.
Let's reset the clock, Tim.
Reset the clock.
They've been mentioned now. They've been mentioned. They're gonna be
It
there.
has to be mentioned. Yeah.
They'll be in the next book, I bet you. Just wait.
Yes. Yeah.
They're going to be in book 8.
Yeah, I bet you they are. Just wait and see.
My friends, I love you so much. I miss you.
Does anybody have some final words before we sign off?
Go to a drunken rant from Freddie.
Heresy not dead.
Long live Heresy.
Long live Heresy.
Heresy is dead. Long live. No. What I can say is, I don't care about, like, we have all these companies and shit doing shit, but it's all about the community. And like, we wouldn't be sitting here doing this fucking live pause if it wasn't because we love each other. So yeah, fuck it. Like, not you, Max. We don't love you.
And my dress is fabulous, Freddie.
No, we don't love you, man. You're special. But everyone else, 99.9% of everyone else in the community except Max, we love you guys, and thanks for being there. And we are the community. It doesn't matter what, the ups and downs and whatever the internet says, we make it happen. And we fucking make sure that you guys enjoy the hobby, and we enjoy the hobby, and we're gonna paint our shit, and we're gonna do our shit, regardless what happens. And you know, it's not that bad. She'll be all right.
I just realized something, and I don't know why this just hit me, but it's so fitting. JP, your screen, when I look at your screen, it looks almost black and white or like that sepia wash.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
he's a communist.
It's just so fitting. I'm just like, this works. I don't know. This just hit me all of a sudden. So anyway, totally random. Totally random. Well, just to kind of sign off for me, love you guys. Thank you guys for coming on. I know we've been talking about this in our own little personal chat for the last week or two. Fun couple hours. We got to do this again. I know Freddie made the point. Let's not wait for the telethon to get a few of us together, and I agree 100%. So maybe we can get together soon and talk hobby after the first of the year, and yeah, just good times. And you guys in the chat, thank you for watching. I know Garrett Lowe.
There's people watching this.
Yeah, a lot of folks I saw pop up in the chat. Monty was in there for a little bit. Chris Lemke, Wargamer Eric.
Garrett. Well,
Yeah,
you know, your fucking Chris Kringle gift is gonna come with the Titan. All right. I'm not gonna double post that shit. It's one of my few. Like I have my Patreons are like less than a hand, so he's gonna get his Christmas gift basically with the Titan.
Well, Freddie, we do need to start that Sarah McLaughlin donation drive, so we got to start working on that. In the arms of an angel.
Just getting another beer.
Come on, Max. Dance in your dress. I'll throw dollars at you.
All right, guys. Well, Chris from TFL, thanks everybody for showing up tonight or today. It's still daytime here.
Guys.
Love you guys.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Peace. Happy New Year and shit.
Happy New Year. Rock on. And we'll see you guys at the Heresy.